Good morning. Welcome to my show. Everything is debatable. I'm not going to even get into that because I'm actually going to go back and edit this video. So I'm going to get right into some of the topics that I'm going to be talking about. First and foremost, I want to dispel the lies and untruths that you've been told by people that say 100 men will beat a silverback gorilla. It's an absolute lie, right? Absolute lie. And I know, scientists have given their takes and everything, and they're saying, well, if they plan, let me tell you something. This is how I can imagine it going. I don't care how these men attack this gorilla. They can put all of their bodies on top of the gorilla. The gorilla can lift at least 10 of those men, if not more, off of his body. But that's not even the point. The gorilla is going to be strong enough and powerful enough. Don't forget, it has fangs. I think people forget that it can bite. So the terror that it's going to have these men in, and so you don't know about war. War, and it's been going on for a long time, where it's shock and awe, right? A lot of times they feel like you can defeat your enemy as long as you can shock him enough, right? It's even psychological warfare, right? Psychological warfare, where I think it was Attila the Hun or Genghis Khan used to, hurl heads into the city. So, and then put the bodies on pikes and stuff like this, just so that the other people will be like, look, I don't even want to fight this dude. So when these 100 men attack this gorilla, right? And one guy he gets his neck broken, and another guy gets his arm ripped off, and another guy gets his head, half his head bit off. It's going to be, because then the question is going to be, what are we fighting for? Are they fighting for money? The men are not that, the gorilla has no sense of, it's not, I don't even think it's going to feel any fear. I think it lives in constant peril. Humans you live comfortably. You know what I mean? You're not in constant peril and dealing with stuff and all, they're not going to beat, man, stop it. Stop the shenanigans. You're not going to be able to beat a gorilla, man. A silverback gorilla, not no 100 dudes. I don't care how big they make them and how big they come. It's not going to happen at all. But anyway, I don't know if you heard this story recently, and I'm gonna, because I got it here, so I want to make sure that I'm telling the story correctly and everything. Anyway, a woman. Let me see here. Okay, I'm going to read the entire the news story so that you can get the entire background on it. In late April 2025, let me start over. That sounded. In late April of 2025, a video recorded at Soldiers Field Memorial Park in Rochester, Minnesota, captured a woman later identified as Shiloh Hendricks, directing racial slurs at a 5-year-old black boy who was reportedly on the autism spectrum. The incident began when Hendricks accused the child of taking items from her toddler's diaper bag. When confronted by bystander Sharmaik Omar, who recorded the exchange, Hendricks admitted to using the slur and repeated it multiple times during the confrontation. Following the video's circulation on social media, Hendricks launched a crowdfunding campaign on GiveSendGo, citing harassment and doxing as reasons for needing to relocate her family. As of May 3rd, 2025, the fundraiser had amassed over $500,000. The campaign attracted support from individuals expressing far-right and racist sympathies, leading the platform to restrict comments due to the volume of inappropriate remarks. Right? So pretty much, What happened was, woman in the park, kid may have taken some items from a diaper bag, and this woman called this kid the N-word multiple times. And then what people did after that incident, was gave her over a $500,000. And that it could be more now, because she actually raised her goal. It was 250,000. She hit 250,000. She's at 500,000. She wants $1 million, right? Can you imagine? Can you imagine that you're actually getting rich? Well, you're not rich. $1 million, I don't think is rich anymore. But you're getting some money, right? For being a racist. Just think about that. Let's think about that. And so this is what I came up with, right? This is what I wrote and orated on my show yesterday, A Rig for Greatness, right? What this really shows is how deep and organized certain segments of this country are when it comes to protecting whiteness, even when they're wrong. This woman caught on video calling a 5-year-old black autistic child the N-word multiple times didn't just get sympathy, she got money. Over $500,000 raised in a few days. That's not random acts of kindness. That's a coordinated signal, a message saying, don't worry, we got you, you're one of us. It exposes how some people weaponize victimhood to raise money playing into white grievance culture. It shows that the hate economy is real profitable. Outrage plus identity equals money. Racism still sells. And so the question is, where might this lead us as a society? Where might this lead us? That's not the only incident, because we had an incident, a tragic death of Austin Metcalf, and the situation with Carmelo Anthony, right? And as I stated yesterday, when it comes to criminal proceedings or criminal cases, I think it's fair to allow the evidence to be presented, to get all of the information, and then as humans, even though that you're not maybe on the jury or whatever, to pass judgment at that time. But to make it all about race, to make it all about race from the onset, I think is tragic in itself. And I think I was disillusioned when I was younger. I viewed the United States differently than I do today. And as I grew, I started to understand that regardless to, because I was taught differently, man. I wasn't taught to, like, sometimes I might hear something slip, but I wasn't taught to dislike anyone, whether they were white, Mexican, whatever. I wasn't taught to dislike them just based on their race. You know what I mean? But I experienced racism. I still did experience racism. And I don't even think at that time, I think that you feel like it's a small proportion of people. You know what I mean? A small population of people. It's not all of them. And so maybe you try to overlook it. But as I grew, I started to understand that it's really more, it's in disguise. It's more disguised than it was. And I think that a lot of times is that people don't even feel that they are being racist. But their views are racist. So, but today, the racial lines or the racial divide is so obvious. It's so obvious. And I think it's social media that allows us to see it firsthand. Like I go onto some of these posts, and I just go through the comments, and the vitriol and hate that you see from white people. Y'all can feel how y'all want to feel. Maybe someone, will have a different view and say, well, it's not all. I've heard that before. But even when you come in and you say, well, it's not all of us. I don't really care. I don't really care. You know what I mean? Because I no longer have the ability to differentiate the two. I would rather just be honest. You know what I mean? And that, it reminds me, I had a best friend. I had a good friend. Let me not say a best friend. It was a drinking buddy. When I was drinking, my best friends were also alcoholics, right? So I had a drinking buddy. He wasn't even white. He was from Peru. And so we were cool for a long time, and I brought him. I had moved to Omaha. I brought him down to Omaha. And I lived on the north side of Omaha. It was where all the black, we were in the hood. I love being in the hood. I don't care where I go. I'm going to probably go to the hood. I want to be around black people. That's where I want to be, period. I don't care what you're talking about. They shooting down, there was 30 shots down the street. Dang, I don't care. I want to be there, right? Because I feel like when you're in the hood, things happen to you if you're living a certain lifestyle. Now, of course, you may be somewhere and something may happen and you're an innocent bystander or whatever. That happens. But you could also be in the mall in Von Mar and a guy comes in and shoots 8 people. So, you know what I mean? Let's be real here, right? So things happen, and so you can't avoid. But anyway, I'm comfortable. So anyway, I take this friend of mine to a liquor store. We're at a liquor store, and he comes out and he says, "Man, this shit is so ghetto." I'm like, "What? Ghetto? Like, what do you mean?" Like, and then he said, he's talking about this woman. I guess 2 women was arguing. In my mind, I saw them arguing. And she had her child with her. But I had been in the store. She didn't get any liquor or anything. I think she might have got a blunt, right? She was probably going to smoke. She didn't get no liquor. She got a blunt. But he says, you see the women over there, they arguing. She got a 40 in her hand. She got a beer in her hand. And you know what I'm saying? You can't help but think the kid in the back ain't going to be shit. I'm like, whoa, what? Slow down, buddy. What the fuck? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? And I pulled over. I had to pull the car. Man, what are you talking about, bro? You know what I'm saying? He was like, oh, man, it ain't that serious. I'm like, nah, bro, it's that serious. You know what I'm saying? It's really that serious, man. You know what I'm saying? Because, and I explained to her, I said, bro, when I'm over here, you know what I'm saying? I'm comfortable. I don't see, and that's not what happened back there. What you seen was a female come out, seen the female that her dude was probably messing with or something. They exchanged some words. She got in her vehicle. They ain't fight. They ain't did nothing. Might not have even been that. It could have been something totally different. It might not have even been that was part of the argument. It could have been something else. But the way that he saw us made me question, because I'm thinking, like, how do you feel about us when I bring you around my family, right? How do you feel about us? Because at the time, my mother was drinking. So are you seeing my mother drinking and thinking that, her children aren't going to be anything? You know what I'm saying? And so, the next night or so, we go to a club, strip bar, and I'm giving him money so he can tip the women and whatever. And in the middle of this, a black woman taps me on the shoulder. She wants to talk to me, and she tells me what he's been saying to her, being disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? And so I talked to him I actually punched him in the mouth that night. Because what almost in his mind, what he was thinking is that black women have less value and are there to be objects, to be used, disposed of, whatever. But he was going to show respect to white women and stuff like that. So I punched him in the mouth that night. The day he's about to go home, I talked to him. I said, hey, bro, I said, man, I said, do you sit around when you're not around me? Do you sit around your people, other white people, and call us the N-word, bro? And he was like, yeah. He's like, but I don't mean it like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, whoa, what? And then later on, he told me, he said the reason he kept me around because he felt when he was looking at his other friends, they were successful, right? He said they were all successful and everything. But he said he felt like I was never going to amount to anything because I had felonies. I had been to prison. He was like, oh, you'll be like in the call center for the rest of your life, right? And I can imagine, do you know what happened to this gentleman though? But anyway, the point is, I'm going to tell you what happened to him, but the point is that this is a person that I thought was a friend, but this is how he felt about me the entire time. So I'm to the point now where I just want y'all to be away from me. You know what I'm saying? Just stay over there. I'll stay over here. But I think also we as a people need to be prepared for what may be lying ahead, because this particular incident, if she can make over $500,000 for simply using the N-word, for simply expressing racism, in that manner, can you imagine what other people are thinking? They might be able to monetize, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, so some time later, us as black people, we're always forgiving. That's why we're special. We're a peculiar people like that. Like me and my wife talk about it. If we had the opportunity to make white people slaves, we probably wouldn't even do it. We wouldn't even do it. Just wouldn't do it. Just don't have it in us to do it. But so later on I talked to him and he told me, those things. He was like, yeah, like I keep you around because, I just, feel like you're not going to amount to nothing and shit like that. And so I hate to think this, but years later, he actually committed suicide. And I would hate to think that my success in life drove you to that point. You know what I mean? Because I did become successful. You know what I'm saying? I was no longer in a call center. I got multiple properties. I'm a landlord, truck driver. I've had my own business since 2011. I've been working for myself. I got the truck into trucking because I wanted to team truck drive with my wife. Plus, I get to see the entire country. In the last year, I've been driving with my wife for a year now. I've been to, now in my lifetime, I think it's 47 different states. 47 different states now I've been to. And that leaves only ones I haven't been to are, well, no, let me take that back. Not 47, 45 maybe, because I haven't been to Hawaii. I haven't been to Oregon. I haven't been to Alaska. I haven't been to Maine, and I haven't been to New Hampshire. Those are the only 5 states that I still haven't been to in the United States. So we're working on it though. I want to go to Hawaii next. That's where I want to take my next vacation. But anyway, yeah, I think it's time that we prepare, seriously, because I think it's about to get crazy, personally. Then I wanted to touch on this, Shannon Sharp thing. And I watched the video. He was on a video with this, comic. I think his name is Darnell or something like that. He was on a video, in the shade room. What, I don't even know what you call it. Drinking with Shay's room or whatever. Club Shay Shay. So he's on Club Shay Shay and Darnell's up there and he's talking about a girlfriend. He was messing with a girl, woman 23 years old. And so Shannon's like, oh man, you must really like him young. I'm thinking maybe 30 or something like that. But come to find out, he was dealing with a 19-year-old woman that was on OnlyFans. OnlyFans. Keep that in mind. She was on OnlyFans, because I'm talking about Shannon Sharpe, but at the same time I'm talking about pretty much dating in these times today, and dating as it's now today, it's more of an interaction. I mean, a transaction, right? The woman offers something, and she expects the man to be giving her gifts, giving her money, whatever. And so a lot of times men are flashing this money or showing, their financial wealth and, by some means to attract a woman, right? And so that's pretty much the situation. Shannon Sharpe was on this woman's OnlyFans page, and I'm sure that he was sending her gifts and stuff like that, because he probably didn't put his real name on there, right? That wouldn't make much sense. So he was anonymous, and how he caught her attention was by sending gifts, sending money, whatever. And so she's a gold digger, right? Can I really say that? I mean, if you're a woman on OnlyFans, I guess it depends on what you're doing. Does it depend on what you're doing that makes you a gold digger? Because really, what is a gold digger? A gold digger is a woman that messes with men for money. But she was more of a prostitute. But not even a prostitute, because she's on OnlyFans. So the only thing she's doing is, who knows? I don't even want to know what she's doing. Point being, Shannon Sharpe shouldn't have been messing with no 19-year-old woman. That's the point being. Look, it's okay. Don't get me wrong. I feel like you can do whatever you want to in your own life. But even as an older man, there has to be a certain age limit where you're at. I say the age limit is 23. I say not even 21. Like when you get to like 40, you ain't 40, almost 50. The age limit has to be like 20. Now, if you were maybe 30 years old, then I can maybe see maybe 20, 21, because they're still adults, so I can understand maybe you being, I've had this conversation before, right? I've had this conversation with people before. When you're looking at, like, if you're looking at an actress in a movie, and you're thinking she's attractive, you're not thinking about her age. If you're looking at a woman, wherever you're looking at these women at, you're not thinking about their age unless you know that they're underage. Like, okay, that's an underage woman. She's a girl, underage girl, and so I'm going to avoid dealing with her. But if forget that. Shannon Sharpe shouldn't have been messing with no 19-year-old woman. Period, point blank, regardless of what the situation was. Now, I don't know about the sexual assault and the choking and stuff like that. That to me sounds like it was maybe a setup, like she was playing, and maybe some parts of it were actually deleted. I don't know about that. But, come on, bro. And I don't even, it could be a play. I still think Shannon Sharpe is gay, to be honest. Man, I've been thinking that ever since he played football, and I was watching football in the 80s. Like, this dude is, yeah. I always felt about Dwight Howard too. Dwight Howard, what? Oh, dude like that. There's some people right now. Oh man, dude. Not because, do what you want to do. But yeah, some people, that's what you can tell. You can tell that's what they into. You can tell that's probably why he was choking her. Probably hated being there. I just got to do this. Oh, I hate them. That's what my wife talking about when I come in. I don't know why she thinks she runs my life. Yeah, this is what I would suggest to you. Before I get off of here, this is what I would suggest to you. Stay single. Do not sacrifice your life That's what you're doing. If you get married, you're sacrificing your life, because the woman is going to take over your entire life, and you're going to be a servant. Think you're going to be a king? They be like, oh, we king. No, you're a servant, bro. You're a glorified servant, because you got to do everything that she wants to do, or the house is not going to be happy, and now you not happy because she not happy. Now it's, nah, bro. No, don't. Just stay single, man. Stay single. Then you ain't got to listen to them talking all the time. Women will drive you crazy. Women talk. I don't know. Maybe it's women talk all the time, man. The way they do. Tell me anything. Women talk as if their thoughts cannot remain inside their head. Like, see, I talk a lot too. To myself, in my head, I'm talking. Like that. Women just, and they want you to pay attention the entire time. They want you to pay attention the entire time. If they could, they would have your face right here and talk to you, and would wait for you to respond. Yes, baby. Okay. That is wonderful. I think, and they don't even want that. They want they can't even accept the answer. Like, my wife will ask me, she'll say, do you like this picture? I'm like, no. She's like, why do you don't like it? I just don't. Well, I mean, what do you like? I like it. I don't. Well, what do you want me to say? I don't like the picture. Okay, I like it. Leave me alone. No. But anyway, she's calling me now. Bring me some coffee with some dark roast and put in a packet of hot chocolate and 2 sugars, please. I already brought her breakfast. You know what I'm saying? I had to get up, bring her breakfast, and I still got other stuff to do. She don't even understand that. You know what she did yesterday? Well, I came up with all type of other stuff. Lost some money, too. I went to the casino twice, lost some money. But let me tell you what she did. She spent an entire day working on the website. The website came out nice, but an entire day, the entirety of the day, from the time that was like at 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, noon or something, until midnight last night, 12 hours working on the website. I done did all type of stuff during that time. All type of stuff. But anyway, I think I'm done for today. These are videos I'm doing I'm actually, you should be looking for the show later. I'm just doing this right now for content, but, yeah, everything's debatable. The new season, full season, should be out coming, June, first weekend in June. So be looking forward to that, cause I am Bizak. That's going to continue, and then go listen to my podcast. Everything's Debatable is a live show. That's why I'm getting the footage now. But go listen to my podcast, Rigged for Greatness, on Podbean. Go there, listen to that. That's another good show. And so, I'll be doing a pre-trip here shortly for that one, but, let my wife clean this stuff up. That's the sacrifice, the trade, because when she come in here, she got to clean this thing up. I'm not cleaning this truck up.